All right, guys, thanks for joining us. I got everything pulled up here. So if you haven't joined us before, the way this works is you got me, AJ, CEO of ProLine, former CMO of my co-founder's company, formerly Delory Roofing, formerly Peach Roofing, currently Roofata is the new brand. And then we have Scott here, CEO of or owner of Rainstoppers Roofing and Small Town Roofer. So if you guys have any questions for either of us, please put that down into the Q&A section. There's a little Q&A button inside of Zoom. So you can just click Q&A and then submit your questions. Otherwise, we have our own questions that we're going to go through. So we'll just answer our own until we see something pop up. So all right, I'm going to pull up our questions and we'll jump in. First question I got here for you, Scott, is what are the keys to a great roofing proposal / estimate?
So, to me, I want it branded. I want my proposal to match my brand. Our proposals in ProLine, we've taken the time to basically go in and build custom pages. What we even white labeled like our color pages, your shingle color sample pages. We white labeled those with our brand on them. We want to make sure that we're not getting lost in the fray and we look like every other quote. We want ours to just blast our brand in front of the customer. There's no doubt that is our quote that they've received. But I think options are huge. So there's a few things that I think are big right now. I think options inside of a quote are fantastic. So if you've got a good, better, best, if you've got your standard roof option, you don't offer a good, better, best, but you offer a singular roof package, but you can offer add-on features like gutter guards, pipe, lifetime pipe boots, gutters. Maybe you offer, siding. Maybe you can put a siding option in with your quote templates. I know guys are doing Christmas lights right now. Maybe you offer to install Christmas lights alongside with the roof install. I mean, I think that's a fantastic idea if that's a service that you're offering. That makes sense to me. So the other couple things to me that have to be right now is a financing option inside of your quote. So basically either a link or something to show a monthly payment. In ProLine, obviously we use there every time we generate a quote, we put in our parameters, which is right now we're trying to sell a 10-year with a 9.99 interest rate. So every time we generate a quote, it shows that 10-year 9.99 interest rate monthly payment based off what their total quote value was. I think that's a must. I think right now, hopefully the economy is going to start turning for us, but financing is huge. My generation, obviously, me and you, AJ, our generation of people, we love to finance things. We love to budget our life around our monthly payments and not necessarily dip into your cash, I guess. And maybe we don't even have cash. Maybe we just, we know that we can sustain that $200 a month instead of that $20,000 roof payment or whatever it is. And then I think lastly, you need to have signature page. So, have your terms and conditions in there with a place to e-sign it. We still do a printed copy of our quote. If someone is unable to e-sign, we run into a lot of older folks that don't want to or just aren't willing to. So they sign our printed quote. We take a picture of that quote and save that file inside of their ProLine file. So we always, whether they e-signed, it's saved in ProLine, obviously, or if they physically sign, we just take that bad boy and stick it in a file in ProLine. And anytime we look that customer up, we look to see what their contract was. we have a copy of it right inside of their file. We don't have to go sifting folders trying to find a 3-year-old contract that we're probably never. I'll never find it. You know, I quit doing anything with. I literally don't have a filing cabinet anymore. I lie. I've got one drawer that has like truck titles and shit like that in. That's it. That's my filing cabinet. Everything else is digital now, and it's so much easier to manage. So,
Yeah.
yeah, those are the things that today are just to me a must in your quote template.
Yeah. Are you guys doing multi-structure as well? Where if there's if there's like a detached garage, do you quote that separately?
Absolutely. We're not. I don't want to tell you and act like I'm doing it all, because we're not utilizing it to its fullest. But if you're dealing with a lot of multi-structure type stuff, most of the time our customers, if they want the garage done, we just build it as one quote. The house and garage are getting done. That's the price. Very rarely do we run into the occasion where they want to see that price broke out. If they do, we have that option to separate those prices inside of the same quote. But I would say 90+% of our customers, they're doing the house and they're doing the garage, or they're flat out have no interest in doing the garage because they just built it 2 years ago and
Yeah.
they're not worried about a price.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm trying to think of anything else. You have we do have a question here, so I'm gonna hit that here in a second. I saw Adam asked a question. And let me go. Actually, it is related to quotes. So we'll hit Adam's question, and then I have a few things to add on the proposal side. So Adam's question is, who are you using for financing, and are you passing costs on to the customer?
So currently I use WiseTac. I love WiseTac because it is a flat fee. All dealer fees are, I believe, 3.9%. So no matter what the offer is, no matter what they even have a 0% option. If your credit score is good enough, they offer, it's only like 3 months, unfortunately, but they do have a 0% for up to 12 months if you're willing to pay like 6-point-some% dealer fee, which I'm just not. So, but they have great options with a flat rated fee. And so in ProLine, now not every software, not every estimating tool or CRM does this, but inside of ProLine, there's a setting that basically you're charging with built-in inflation for finance fees, which, credit cards 3.2%. Inside ProLine, every quote we write is inflated 3.2%. But there's a line right below it that says cash price, and it's minus 3.2%. So now with financing, we're paying 3.9 and we're charging 3.2. So we're eating, 0.5% or so of those finance fees. But that's a legal way to do it, and that's a way to do it that, I mean, I'll eat 0.5% all day long to sell a job. I'm not interested in eating 5%, or something like that where it has big dealer fees. Yeah. But to eat 0.5% to sell a job, I'm fine with that. So, but I don't, AJ, do you know of anybody else right now? I don't know if anybody else really has that set up in every quote where there's a setting to toggle that on.
Well, so I was gonna fundamentally, it's just a cash discount, and the what you're talking about is our dynamic cash discount that's tied in with credit cards, but you can just add you can add a regular discount to your ProLine quote to work exactly the same way. So fundamentally, you're just having a cash price or cash discount, and as long as you're framing it as a cash discount and not here's the price, but it's more if you want to finance, that will get you in trouble. But as long as it's here's the normal price, which is the price if you finance it and the price if you pay with card, but then here is the price if you pay cash, that's okay. So you can have a lower price for cash. It is important which way you frame it. I mean, most other systems, good systems, have discounts for that you can add to quotes, and so you could probably work it the same way. I don't know, but for us, we do have a pretty robust discount system between both like the dynamic cash discounts and the regular discounts, which can be, you could label a regular discount as a cash discount. So one thing I've seen people do, people that have maybe higher dealer fees that they're dealing with, is they'll turn off our dynamic cash discount and just put in, a 5% cash discount or a 6% cash discount. So you can do that too. It work exactly the same way. It's essentially the same thing. So yeah, so I think the essential thing here is that on the front end, you're building this into your margin. That's like the first thing to remember, is just like you should be building all your pricing and your margin with this like around that, covering that fee, right? And
Right.
then you can then offer a cash discount on top of that for if someone's going to pay cash. So, but that's the yeah, that's the kind of the tricky the tricky things. It's got to be framed as a cash discount. That's the main important thing. So
Yep.
um
You
I
were
was
going
gonna
to add
shout out,
something to
say
that
again.
also. You were going to add something to the quote template question
Well,
also.
yeah, I'll add that. I was also just gonna shout out uh Chris with Improvify. Um, Improvify is another great option for financing that we like to work with a lot. A lot of ProLine customers use Improvify. And yeah, so that's another.
I was going to say, so I've structured the way I've responded a little bit weird. I said, for now, we are using WiseTac. I've already paid for Improvify and all the courses and all the stuff, with full intention on doing the onboarding this winter when things kind of slow down for the guys, to where I want my guys to be super well versed in financing, because the problem with roofing contractors offering financing is we don't understand financing. And so if we can, if the sales reps can understand how financing works, what all, the terminology, how to help get people approved, because there's ways around, people gets denied, or person gets denied. There's ways around that to where you can help them better their odds of getting approved for that loan. So, and before we switch to Improvify, I want it to be where my team is available to put the time into the training. And then our plan is to move into that this winter. So yeah, I think what Scoville's doing with that Improvify company is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. Him and I did a great video at RoofCon just a few weeks ago where we talked about cash discounting and the dealer fees and how that works. So that's something to look up on our YouTube. The things I was going to add on the proposal side was, did you talk about custom sales pages? You guys have some custom sales pages,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was saying about branding, or
Okay, yeah.
all of our stuff. Yeah, I guess I didn't go into enough detail, but go ahead, you can.
Well, I was going to say, it's just like, it's good to have some well-designed portions of your quotes that go over who you are, why you're different. Like, let the quote sell for you when you're not there. Like once you've left the home, it's like, it's just another quote unless you put in some of that additional information. Now you don't want it to be too long. I've seen some really long quotes where it's like there's 17 pages going over like company stuff. I think it's way too much. It's like you should be able to sum up your value in like 1 or 2 pages. But I do think that is really impactful to have that. And I was going to say, we're about to launch an update for quotes, probably end of next week or early the week after, where it's going to be possible to embed videos into ProLine quotes. So if you want to embed like a video going over your company, you can do that as well. So that's something new coming soon.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you're looking for custom pages too, what I know a lot of people in the industry call hero pages. If you're looking for that too, Chris DeRoll with Ready to Roll Consulting, like he actually just sent me 3 examples today for someone that I'm working with. Dude, they're freaking awesome. So
Yeah.
definitely reach out to Chris if you're, building out these higher end quote templates and wanting to brand this, with really professional look. Chris has definitely got it figured out.
Yeah. Chris is great. Would recommend Chris for that as well. Chris Deerl, not to be confused with Chris Scoville. There's a lot of Chris's in this industry.
Yeah.
All right. So we can move on to another question here. If you guys watching have any questions, please do put those in the Q&A. Otherwise, we will be moving on. So all right, let me take a look at our list. Let's take a turn here. Let's talk about production stuff here for a second. So different topic change. How should you be waterproofing around penetrations on the roof?
That's a good question. Yeah. So every penetration on our roof systems, we ice guard around them. So basically we cut like a 3 foot by 3 foot piece of ice guard. It's 3 foot wide. We just cut off a 3 foot piece and we put that down straight to the roof deck before we ever put our synthetic underlayment down. So we still run synthetic underlayment literally tight to the penetration. But I know, so I want to clarify. I know Florida and a lot of these different areas have different requirements. I know Florida, I think they've got a tar in a lot of their penetration stuff. So I want to clarify where I'm located, that is not required. Even ice guard around penetrations is not required per code. But we just feel that's a leak prone area that's always giving people trouble. So we always run ice guard around penetrations, run them up the chimney. So we'll run our ice guard 6 inches up the actual chimney, and then we counter flash over top of the step flashing and the ice guard. So yeah, I mean, then the one little detail that we always do that I know a lot of people just don't bother with is we always take, the high quality silicone caulking that we use for whatever flashings we're using. And around the top flange where, your pipe boot meets your PVC or cast iron, whatever type, we always run a bead of caulking around that top edge and kind of smooth it out. We just feel like it's an extra barrier. The first thing to go, especially on the cheaper pipe boots, your $10 pipe boots, the first thing to go is that rubber material collar that touches the pipe. It's the first thing to go bad, first thing to leak. So we feel like we run that extra bead of silicone on there. That silicone hopefully outlasts the boot enough to where, maybe that roof, even though they didn't cough up the money for the lifetime boots, but they want a good system still. Hopefully this gets them a little bit longer time out of that boot.
Right. It's just a little bit more. Yeah,
it takes 10 seconds and it costs nothing, yeah. So it's like, it's worth doing. If it doesn't work, right, that's fine, but it's worth an effort.
Yeah. You're doing right by the customer, for very little extra cost for you.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. If you guys got any questions, actually running real low on questions on our end. I think we have 2 questions left. We had I think there's 300 questions. We answered a lot of questions on this show.
We have.
Yeah.
Well, college.
Absolutely. And we're gonna probably circle back, and there'll be new questions to add to the list. But if you guys got any questions for us, we need more questions today. So I'll answer, or I'll ask one of our last 2. So, when during the sales process, when you're selling someone on the roof, how important is it for that prospect to actually understand the sales, like how, or understand how roofing is done, how a roof replacement gets done, like understand the roof replacement process before they buy? I think
Yeah.
the essence of this question is like, do you need to walk them through all that before they buy? Or should you just be like, hey, we're getting the roof done, and like kind of don't get into too many details? Like, how do you walk that line?
I believe it's the most important part of the sales process. Like it's number one. If you're going to sell, I mean, there's people that don't give a shit, but I feel like if you want to build a reputation, not and a relationship with that customer, they have to feel like you educated them. And so I run a mastermind group. Uh, we did it this morning. One of my guys has a job going on that it's a funky job. It's just one of those ones where it's not normal, right? We run into them every once in a while where things just don't always. It's not going to be a normal install. Something's got to be weird about it to make it work. But there's a way to make it work. So he brought it to the table, and I brought to him a very very good solution, and I think he's going to present it. And he hadn't thought of that idea. But then I start, I kind of educate him a little bit on he needs to install metal, in my opinion, because of the weird situation that it is. And he's not real well versed in metal. So I got him some education, and I'm like, here's what you do. And I said, dude, here's the thing. If you want to, it's a big commercial. I said, if you want to sell this job, present this guy this solution, because it literally checks every box that he's looking for. It solves all of his issues. You're giving him a solution to every issue that he's got. The building had no insulation. He wants the insulation added, but it's a pitched roof. It's just a weird deal, and it's open ceiling. So they don't want to spray foam the ceiling because they like the look of the wood on the inside. So they got to figure out a way to insulate it from the outside. And so there's a system you can use to do that. And I told him, I said, if you can, and it's cost effective, it's actually a fairly inexpensive roof system for what you get out of it. I said, if you present this to him and educate him on why this is going to check all of his boxes and do all this, I said, he's going to hire you. Like, in my opinion, I've been in those situations, and I am telling you, I've never lost. If you've got that weird situation and I can figure out how to fix it and I can educate you on why it's the best option, I always win on those. Now, when I'm selling just a regular old roof, I still win a lot. And when I win the most, or even all my guys, when they win the most, it's because they got to spend the time with the customer that was willing to listen to their pitch, which part of their pitch is education. As soon as we get that customer to sit down at the kitchen table with us, let us explain what the roof system includes and why it's absolutely necessary to have, and not just a bullshit sales brochure, but an actual education. Give me 30 minutes. Let me train you on why you need these things. Our sales rate increases significantly.
Yeah, the education, you paint yourself as the authority.
They trust you immediately. You just taught them why things are important. You automatically just build trust.
Yep. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, and you're creating value. Like you're creating value before they've even paid you anything. So you're creating that kind of yeah, I mean it's just like you're showing them that you care too. Like you care about them understanding and them and like them making the right decision for them.
It also, I feel like it just makes people comfortable with you, and they trust your opinion. I think they're going to set you apart because, well, this guy was willing to take the time to tell me these things. You know what I mean? Where Joe Schmo down the street just wrote a quote and stuck to my door, or emailed me a quote, but gave me a real salesy pitch.
Yeah.
I think education is the sales pitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love that. All right, on to our final question, unless there's any Q&A from you guys watching. We will move on. All right, final question. Oh, this is an easy one. This won't even take us. This won't take us very long. What is the best tool or software to use for roofing sales presentations?
Oh man, gravy. Got to be ProLine. I mean, I say that as obviously a active supporter, but at the same time, I have used all the others. I've used them all. Roofer, Job Nimbus, Sumo Quote, Jobber. I've literally tried everything, and nothing is nearly as easy to use, as customizable, or as effective as ProLine. I mean, that's just, you don't have to take my word for it. You can get a free demo, but at the same time, you should take my word for it because I've already tried all the rest. So don't waste your money and scratch your head, get pissed off at your computer because you're trying shit that isn't going to work. I'm telling you what works. It's a no-brainer.
I'm really excited for you to see the new changes that we're putting in. It's going to be nice because it's going to support adding videos into the quote. We're going to support there's going to be multi-signature functionality. So if you need to countersign anything, or if you need to have, multiple people on the customer's end sign, that will all be supported now. We're going to have more cover page designs. So you can have more creativity on the front end. So you can do more, you can choose. Shout out to,
You tell Mr. John Starry about that yet?
yeah, he's excited about it. And then, kind of, I think the most impactful thing for day-to-day use is that everything's going to load instantly. No more waiting. It's all going to just load. When you go preview the quote, it's just going to load and it's going to show you the quote. Whereas right now it's having to generate a PDF document. So that's what we're doing. We're still going to have a PDF version, but we're moving towards a digital document rather than a PDF document being what you view. So they'll be essentially the same thing. But the PDF is what's going to get attached to emails. You can download the PDF, but we're going to show you an instant preview of what that document looks like. And that's what's going to make it possible to add videos and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's fantastic. And that, I mean, and honestly, to me, the two best parts of ProLine, I mean, there's so much good to say. The two best parts are, it only keeps getting better. And it's already, in my opinion, it's the easiest and best CRM for roofers right now, period. Like, you can go buy any one of these softwares, and I will truly, honestly believe ProLine is better. It continues to get better literally weekly. I mean, weekly there's some update that's an improvement to something or an additional feature or something. But then the support. I mean, I'm pretty damn well versed in building out ProLine. I'm doing it for other individuals as a consultant, and I still have questions, because ProLine is getting better and it's having more features, and so I reach out to the support chat just like any customer can, and within 10 minutes I've got a literally a perfect response to the issue that I have, or not even the issue, but how to do something. They literally just give me a step-by-step how-to of how to do it. And it's within 10 minutes every freaking time. So it's like, to me, those are the two that nobody else is even close. I don't know where second place even falls, because all the rest of them I've used, there's literally little to no support, and they tell you that they're going to get better. And I was told by one of them over a year ago that they would have an app, like a legitimate app, because it's only web-based right now. That was over a year ago. they're still sending out press releases via email. The app is on the way. They've been sending that email for a year. It's like, no, it's not. I mean, maybe it isn't now, but I still don't believe you because it was 12 months ago you told me that. Like, what? So anyway, those two things, it's second place is gaming place.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy to me. That's taking that we've had a mobile app forever, and there's a lot of a lot of good things about the mobile app. We had a mobile app from day one. We launched ProLine with a mobile app and desktop version, and with a true mobile app. But that's another thing we're continually improving. I mean, that's what we have one member of our development team just working on a new version of the mobile app, just to make it faster, just to make it easier to use. I mean, like they're still trying to get mobile app 1 out, and we're on mobile app 2. We're on to version 2. So
yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know that goes to say something. That's not even a dig at these other companies. It's more of a compliment to ProLine, because all the other companies are the same. They all tell you they're going to do this shit, and they literally never do it. And when they do, they'll put it in beta for 9 months, and it doesn't work. It's completely faulty.
yeah.
AJ, when's the last time we put something, or you put something in beta for more than like a week? Like, there was something that was in beta for like a week. Maybe it was like calendar or booking pages, maybe.
I think we still have beta on there, but it's really out of beta.
Yeah,
We have had like QuickBooks integration and booking pages are like technically in beta, but I mean we've made so many rounds of improvements now. We might as well take those out. It's more to just signify that like we're focused on improving these areas still.
right.
There is
No,
definitely a lot of improvement, but
the other companies put them in a closed beta where only
it's
certain.
not closed beta.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's fully usable. And in my opinion, I mean, I used the calendar functionality 2 days after you launched it, and I don't think I've ever changed it. It works. Like, it just it just works. So you can call it a beta, but if it works perfectly, it's kind of hard to say that it's not just a live feature.
Yeah. Yeah, we very rarely, and I think part of it is it depends. We would never launch a feature openly that's like mission critical that like changes a core part of the app without doing some sort of like closed testing. But so many of these features, it's like there's no reason for it to be closed. It's like they're opt-in features. You don't have to use them, and we want feedback. So we will push it out as an open beta, pretty much immediately. As long as there's not like a risk of something going bad, it's like we want people to test it. We want to get that feedback. We want it to get broken so that we can fix it. And we know that we can fix it very quickly. So we're not worried about it. Because like we know as soon as someone lets us know, we can probably have a fix out the next day. So
Yeah.
we're not worried about it. It's just a different approach.
I was talking with a guy today. He's on AccuLinks. He said that his AccuLinks integration with QuickBooks will not push the data across. It's been broken for a while. He's reached out to support. No feedback from support. They said they fixed it. It's still doing the same thing. I'm like, dude, ProLine launched the QuickBooks integration. I use it every day, and absolutely flawless. Like, I have no issues whatsoever. It just pushes the stuff where it's supposed to go. And I can promise you, if for some reason it doesn't today, because of an error somewhere, and you let them know, it will tomorrow. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've done it a couple times. Something. I try it out as kind of the test dummy on day one. Say, hey, this, and this needs fixed. Boom, it's fixed. Like, there's just nothing to question."
Yeah.
So the team's killer. That's the difference.
Well, I appreciate it. We're doing our darndest. We did. James and I have been we're filming here at Atlanta Tech Village where our studio is, and today, and that was a big focus of what we were filming as, like, what are we doing differently? So we filmed a lot of content around that. That'll go out on our socials at some point, but what are we doing differently? What's the vision? And I mean, it's just at the end of the day, like, we have no interest in anything except for just building the best CRM for roofers. Like, that's what we're building. And we don't have a bunch of VCs or anything that's like you're trying to get some sort of immediate monetary return or forcing us to do XYZ things. No, like, we're single focused on one thing, building the absolute best CRM. We don't have distractions. We're not distracted by anything else. And I think that's the foundation of a lot of this, is like when you're focused on the right things and you listen to the users, the feedback from the users,
Yep.
like, good things happen. The
That's
things move in the right direction. So
that's the ingredients, that's for sure. And that's where a lot of people are really lacking right now, is they're listening to a bunch of tech guys or a bunch of money guys that don't know squat about the roofing industry. And guess what? The only place to get good quality feedback about roofing technology is from guys out in the field using it every day.
yep, that's right. I mean, it kind of, it does really, it blows my mind that we're the only ones that do this, to my knowledge. But like, to my knowledge, we're the only CRM platform that has a public idea board. Well, it's not public, but it's public to all of our users. An idea board where everyone can vote on stuff. Everyone gets to submit ideas. Everyone can comment on ideas. It's like an open forum. And that's something and that's where we're drawing most of our feedback now. We obviously take feedback in through support and stuff like that, but we have this like very like scalable funnel where we can take everyone's feedback in through the idea board, all the ideas, all the votes, all the comments, take that all in, build our product development roadmap based on that, prioritize it based on votes, and then we can go back and follow up individually with people based on what they said on the idea board, get more information, and then dial that in. And then we're just pushing out these features at a steady pace. And that's been a real game changer. And I think it just surprises me that none of these other companies really care to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And the feedback's free. As roofers, we'd love to give you feedback to say, hey, I need this, this, and this. Can you do that? Or, we love to give feedback. We love to tell you what we need, especially, if it helps make us money, so, or take weight off of our shoulders, either one. So I don't understand why they don't do it, but
yeah, absolutely.
That's why ProLine will keep climbing.
That's the plan. I mean, it's literally part of our DNA. We had two different core values that cover this. We have speak up, and that applies to us, but also applies to our customers. We want our customers to have a way to speak up and like communicate this stuff to us. So that's why we create, make it easy for them to do that. And then seek understanding. So we're also then, we want people to speak up, and then we also want it to be understood. So we're always seeking to actually take that feedback and not just take it in, but also understand it and be able to execute on it. So yeah, it's just baked in. So, all right. If you guys, we'll do a couple minutes here. We'll hang out for a couple minutes. If you guys want to add any other questions, we're out of questions for today. So, well, let me just go through this list again, just make sure I didn't miss anything. No, we're done. We're out of questions. I'm gonna have refreshed questions for us next week, but I mean, if you guys have any last final questions for us, you can put it in the Q&A. But how much longer are you going to be driving, Scott?
Till about 11 o'clock tonight, and then I got about 7 hours in the morning. So,
dang. Where are you staying the night? Do you know yet?
Yeah, where's it at? What? Pensacola area.
Well, yeah.
So, but we just came from Galveston, so I mean we were down in Texas, down around Houston-ish area. So, went out this morning, caught my first fish on the beach that I've ever caught. I love fishing. I absolutely am infatuated with saltwater fishing, even though I don't get to do it that much, and I'm not real good at it because I just something you got to do to get good at. But yeah, we went out to the beach and the boys were swimming in the beach or swimming in the ocean. I had 2 rods way out down the beach from fishing, and I caught like a 24-inch redfish. So
Wow.
that was a blast. And I told Haley, I said I finally can check it off my bucket list. I've caught a surf fish, so I was excited. Yeah. So then we left at like 1 o'clock. So we figured we drive through the night a little bit, let the boys burn some energy on the beach, try to make it easy, and then I'll get up about 4 in the morning, take off again, be there by lunch.
Love it. I love it. That'll be,
You know,
sounds fun. It sounds fun. All right. Don't see any other questions, so we will wrap this up here, and guess we'll see everybody for the next one.
cool. See you guys.